Laying low seems to be the message in Ukraine after US military aid was temporarily suspended in July. The country was suddenly at the center of an American political storm, involving a phone call between the US president and the newly elected Ukrainian leader. Undeterred by what's going on in Washington, Ukrainian soldiers are preparing war games with their US colleagues at the Joint Multinational Training Center in the west of the country. Tactics they can use in the ongoing war against Russian-backed separatists in the east.
While we pay attention to politics, it doesn't affect our day-to-day process. So we'll be here tomorrow as long as both governments agree that we're needed here.
Besides having Ukraine's back against Russia, the Americans are getting Ukraine's troops ready to become part of NATO. This is how US military aid to Ukraine looks like. An army which was said to be suffering from corruption and a lack of funds, now beefed up to face Russia in the east. But Trump's threats to withhold this aid, even though it was only temporarily, has caused doubts about how much Ukraine can rely on its most important ally. After the much-debated phone call with Trump, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said he did not feel pressured by Trump's threat to withhold military aid. But analysts say it has affected the image of the United States in Ukraine and could even push some towards Moscow.
What we are seeing in Washington now, that is under threat of unraveling completely, as Vladimir Putin sees that for Trump, Trump is not interested in any larger issues of democracy promotion, state building, and human rights in Ukraine. Rather, he's interested in using Ukraine for his own political needs.
But the US president still has some fans in Kyiv. This coffee shop only opened a few months ago.
I would say it would make Ukraine more famous and more people aware of Ukraine and what's happening in Ukraine, about war in the middle of Europe, okay? But it wouldn't hurt Ukraine's image. Many Americans don't even know that Ukraine exists.
I don't feel any particular help from America, so I think we have to rely on ourselves.
Not the sort of message Ukrainian soldiers fighting what is known as the forgotten war against Russian-backed separatists want to hear. They hope the US will continue to support them. Vaessen, Al Jazeera, Lviv, Ukraine.